está aí, tu pode me dar dentro da profecia. E como assim?
Many youths enter into marriages with the best intention, assuming that they will remain in a permanent and healthy home. In our present world, it is discovered that sex is necessary in a relationship. But the question is sex really important in a relationship? What are the do's and don'ts of a relationship? How do we really know if we are ready emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, and even mentally? All of this and many more are what will be discussed. From our first section, we have the adverse effects of contraceptive. Now, the question is contraceptive a good idea in a relationship? What are the side effects of contraceptive? From our second section, we have relationship sustainability, sex, a major factor to be considered. The question there again is sex a major factor to be considered? What else are the core values of a relationship if not sex? And lastly, for our last section, we have the myth of relationship. As we all know, there are so many false beliefs that our youths and young adults fall into. As we go into this section, we will be looking at these false beliefs and how we can make things right. Stay tuned.
Ọ̀la ni kí lè jẹ́.
Kò tí ì lọ ní kò lọ. Kọ́ lọ sí YouTube tó bá ti subscribe ẹ̀ máa ṣù. Báyìí. No, they just go to YouTube, they discuss. It's a real life. Nǹkan tó máa ṣù nílé, kò ní ṣù ní ti.
Àṣà ìlú fún mi jòkó báyìí.
Please give Taiwo Ojoko. Taiwo no vex for us.
When you talk to you, by all right, they are giving me this.
It's a serious case.
You take it to get.
It's not really me. I'm ready to say shoot.
What do you have?
That is all to read. Oh, you can't put a post from you to set the link.
Intention, assuming that they will remain in a happy.
Cut. That's it. Perfect. Sorry, why? Sorry, why? See you.
A popular saying says, with a new day comes new strength and new thought.
Okay, go back and come in again. Sorry.
No, don't let come in. She's a dance. She's friends. Now they are going.
enter into marriages with the best intention, assuming that they will remain in a permanent and happy union. In our present world, it is discovered that sex is necessary in a relationship. But the question is sex really important in a relationship? What are the do's and don'ts of a relationship? How do we really know if we are emotionally, physically, financially, and mentally ready in a relationship? All of this and many more are what to be discussed. From our first section, we have the adverse effects of contraceptives. Now the question is contraceptive really good in a relationship? What are the side effects of contraceptive in a relationship? From the second section, we have relationship sustainability, sex, a major factor to be considered. The question here again is sex a major factor to be considered? What are the core values of a relationship if not sex? And lastly, from our third section, we have the myth. As we all know, there are so many false beliefs that our youth and young adults fall into. As we go into this section, we will be looking at these false beliefs and how we can make things right. Stay tuned.
Good day all, my name is Abu Courage and I'm your host for the day. Moving on, we'll be having a section which is the adverse effects of contraceptive. And of contraceptive. Good day all. My name is Agu Courage and I'm your host for today. Mind you, this is the first section. We'll be having the second and third section, which will be handled by your hosts, Shegu and Olamide. Now to the topic, which is adverse effects of contraceptive. Medically, contraceptive should be used for family planning, but it surprised me why youths of nowadays use it to avoid unwanted pregnancy. But before moving on, I have a guest in person of Dr. Abiola Olusegun, who is a nutro consultant and herbal medicine practitioner in MB Holistic Care. Thank you for coming, ma.
You're welcome. Thank you
Before moving on, I have a question which I'd like to throw to Mrs. Abiola Olusegun. Ma, Google shows that typical use of the pills, around 9 to 100% of people use contraceptive pills. Why is that?
The reason is contraceptive pills, and they are also called birth control pills.
Okay.
And why most of the people using it get pregnant is because, one, the hormones in contraceptive pills are synthetic hormones. And people are likely to forget to take their pills. So when they miss the pills, when they forget to take it, the body notices the fluctuating hormones. So it's easy for them when they stop or when they miss the pills to get pregnant.
Ma, is the pills meant to be taken every day, or does it have like a season or months to be taken? Like you can take it.
It has to be taken every day, depending on the reason you are using the pills. If it is just to prevent pregnancy, it is something that you have to take every day.
I was thinking, like, since it's a pill, is when you have sex, like due to sexual intercourse and stuff, you're meant to take pills, maybe after sex and stuff like that. But I'm surprised why people take it like mostly every day. That's why I asked.
The thing is, there are so many types of birth control pills.
Okay.
So there are some that are emergency pills. Those ones, you can take them anytime you have sex. Those are emergency pills. But you know, birth control pills is not only to prevent pregnancy.
Okay.
So there are so many types like that. There are some that they use to treat PCOS, that's polycystic ovarian syndrome. There are some that they use to treat menstrual cramping. But the one you use to prevent pregnancy that you can take anytime you have sex, those are emergency pills.
Okay. What are the side effects of the birth control pills, like you rightfully call it?
Yeah, the birth control pills is the same name as contraceptive pills. Anything you take oral to prevent pregnancy.
Okay, ma.
So, you know, I said it that it is in birth control pills, the hormones, they are synthetic hormones.
Yeah, you said it.
Yes. So that is why they have side effects. And part of the side effects are depression and mood swings.
Depression.
Yes. Because the hormones has effect, it disrupts the endocrine. So it affects the brain. You know, hormones are chemical messengers, they affect the body, they work on the way you think, you know, whatever you do. That's work of the hormones. So when you are taking the synthetic hormones, and the thing is affecting your brain, so it can cause mood swings, it can cause depression. And there are so many side effects. We have there is one we call spotting between, that's breakthrough, we call it breakthrough bleeding.
Breakthrough bleeding.
Breakthrough bleeding. Because you know when you are taking birth control pills, it increases your hormones, it increases the estrogen level. That estrogen is a hormone. So it is mainly in women.
Okay.
That we call it pregnancy hormone.
Okay, I like to ask, like I heard something like bleeding, or I read about it.
Yes.
What does
Yes. Because the estrogen level tends to get higher.
and spotting, bleeding
Yes.
and
So
spotting?
you bleed. Look, the menstrual cycle,
Okay.
like it changes. The cycle is going to come before the normal time. It should come. That's why we call it it's a breakthrough bleeding. because it is not the normal menstrual cycle.
So you're indirectly saying the pills will make you sick, or definitely you might fall sick using the pills.
You can fall sick. In fact, part of the complications, death is even part, but it is very rare anyway. It's rare. So there are so many. It elevates cortisol level, that's stress hormone.
Cortisol level.
Yes, when you are going through too much stress, the hormone that will be released in your body is called cortisol.
So
It releases it into your body. It reduces testosterone level. That's sex hormone.
okay.
It reduces that one. So it can make you have a low libido.
So now what you're trying to say is, for people that are depressed, like depression, they don't write it off.
Yeah.
So people that are depressed, they are not supposed, or are there specific people that are supposed to take the pills?
I'm not saying people that are depressed. I'm saying that it causes
Okay.
depression. Yes. And then people that smoke are not supposed to take that. It's going to affect them more. Or people that have had any issue with their liver, or people that have had issue, maybe they have had lumps or anything like that, they should not take the pills. Though they usually say the pill is for everybody, but I used to say the side effects, it's more than what it does in the body.
And people that takes it, like I believe mostly ladies that takes it, they understand the effect, or maybe they don't understand the effect, because I believe if you want to go into something, you need to read about it, right? But I believe they might have read about it, or they didn't go reading about it, and they decided to use the pills. That's more than I'm asking if the effect is going to be crucial. Because if they know that the effect is bad, like you've said it, why would they want to take it?
The reason is for singles,
Okay.
though most of them might not know the effects, they might not know the side effects, but what comes to their mind when they have sex is they don't want unwanted pregnancy. So that is why they don't even want to care about the side effects of the pills. Their own is they don't want to get pregnant. That is theirs. But for married women, they are suffering from polycystic ovarian syndrome. Doctors give them these pills. But the thing is, I believe that they should have looked for what causes their hormonal imbalance. Because this pills actually causes hormonal imbalance. It's throw the hormones out of balance. So I believe that they should have checked what causes the hormonal imbalance instead of just giving them the pills. Because the side of pills is going to cause in their body, it's more harmful than the good things it's going to do in their body.
Okay, ma'am, as a professional in this field, I'd like to ask this. Doctors know these pills are dangerous to their patients' health, and they tend to give them these pills. I don't understand, because we are all humans. Are they trying to be bad or something? Like, this doesn't make sense. You understand the disadvantage of something like this, and you still give it to your patient due to it causes depression. And depression is one of the things we're like generally fighting in the society. And you give your patient drugs like this. As in, it doesn't make sense to me.
I understand you, but for them to be able to help the patient to stop the pains the patients are going through, they have to give it. That's why some people take antidepressants.
Stop the pain and give them depression. This is kind of funny. Okay.
You know, I'm a herbal medicine practitioner.
Yes, ma'am, you said it.
I don't treat with chemicals.
Okay.
So I don't believe in giving people contraceptive pills when they have issue with menstrual cramping or PCOS. I don't believe in that.
What do you say?
I have herbs prepared to give to my patients that would not leave any side effects in them.
Okay, ma'am, I'd like to ask this question. Like, according to the Office on Women's Health, there is evidence to suggest that taking the birth control pills may raise a person's risk of blood clots and high blood pressure or hypertension. This can lead to heart attack, like you said before, and stroke. But these side effects are serious but rare. Man, I don't know, maybe you could just share more light to that.
I've said it that, the way the contraceptive pill works is that, I said it that it affects the brain.
Yeah.
So when you take it, it stops ovulation. the hypothalamus won't be able to signal the pituitary gland that you should release egg for fertilization. So that means that it's working in the brain also. And one thing I used to make people understand that if you are to develop stroke, it starts from the brain.
Definitely, yeah. But,
So this makes the complications higher, the risk factor makes it higher when you take contraceptive pills. That's why it affects blood pressure, it causes stroke, it causes liver tumors, so many like that. It even causes death, but that is very rare.
Man, the whole thing is kind of, I don't know how to put it. You understanding the fact that these things can do so much damage to your system and to your life, and eventually, I don't know, doctor give it to his patient, and you a person, you decide to go and take something that do so much damage to your life. I don't understand. Like, how could I don't know if you could just tell me.
I understand your point, but like I said before, that singles of nowadays, they don't care. Theirs is they want to prevent unwanted pregnancy. But this is the main reason why we are always reaching out to people to let them know the side effects of these pills, because most people are ignorant of it. If some people know, because this thing, it affects them. These pills we are talking about, it increases the risk factors of having breast cancer. Because when your hormone is not balanced, and when you are taking, like I said, it's a synthetic hormone. Because natural hormones, in fact, it makes you happy. You won't feel depressed. They bind to the normal receptor, like estrogen will bind to estrogen receptor, progesterone will bind to progesterone receptor. But in synthetic hormones, progesterone can bind to several receptors, and this will affect. It will affect seriously. The body will recognize that fluctuating hormone. So that's why girls are taking contraceptives. You see that it makes their boobs get bigger.
That's what I want to ask now.
Yes,
I've
make
seen
it better.
and their face swell, stuff like that.
Yes. Those are part of the side effects of taking. But that is why we are reaching out to people. That's why I even love this type of program. So many singles will know that this thing I'm taking can actually affect me even when I get married. Because I used to tell people, whatever reason you are taking that contraceptive for, maybe menstrual cramping, maybe PCOS, just know that it is going to work for you for a time being. But later on, it's going to come back, in fact, with vengeance.
So like what you're trying to say, everything that has advantage definitely has a disadvantage.
In fact, contraceptive has more disadvantages.
Okay, I'd like to ask, what does it, as in, does taking these pills cause changes in the sex, like female sex hormones? Like I believe their sex life, like sex drive and stuff like that, will die.
I've mentioned it, like it elevates cortisol, that is stress hormone. Then it reduces the testosterone, that is the sex hormone. It reduces it. So that is why most people that take it have low libido. Low libido, that means that it lowers their sex drive.
Thank you. How many months can taking it to stop a woman's menstrual period? How many months?
You keep on
taking it.
When you keep on, it's not that your menstrual period will stop. It stops ovulation. It's during ovulation that it's very easy to get pregnant. So it stops ovulation. That's how it works. It's not that it will stop your menstruation.
Okay, stop ovulation.
Yes. It's just like your family planning.
Yeah.
So when you stop taking the pills, we are different, our bodies are different from each other. So there are some people, immediately they stop taking the pills. They might not even see their menstruation before they get pregnant. But there are some, they'll still see for like 1 month, 2 months before they get pregnant. Before the body will be adjust. Yes.
Okay, 1 month, 2 months. But I thought it's 2 months or 3 months,
like any, depending, yes.
Okay, like does the pills cause vaginal discharge or vaginal dryness? I don't know, because some ladies like I don't know how to say this. I've had someone say like my girlfriend stuff like vagina is always dry and I get angry and stuff like that. I want you to maybe share more light to people that don't understand this.
If that person is the kind of person that takes
The pills.
The pills. It can happen like, I said, it stops ovulation.
Yes.
When a woman is ovulating, she tends to be wet. So if ovulation has stopped,
Okay.
that can cause vaginal dryness. You know, vaginal dryness, when there are some medications you take that causes vaginal dryness.
Okay, this is how many times in a month you want you to take the birth control pill? I've said that before. But like for people that don't really know how to take the pills, because I believe there are several kinds of pills.
Yes.
But they have one, like I believe it's estrogen and is it pestrogen or something? I don't know.
Estrogen, I don't know if there's a pill called estrogen, but estrogen is a hormone.
Is it hormone?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Those are the synthetic estrogen, progesterone, they are the synthetic hormones in contraceptive pills.
Okay, can someone like combine the injection pills and the normal pills together, like taking it together? What
No, you can't combine it. Either you take the shots.
Okay, shots,
You
called
take it
shots, yeah, I
orally.
saw it,
Yes.
shots. Okay.
Either you take that or you take it orally. But some people believe that taking the shot is far better than taking it orally. I don't support both anyway.
Okay. Ma, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate
Welcome.
calling, Ma. Ma, okay, I would love you to maybe introduce yourself to the audience, like maybe just tell them things about you, and maybe you can just go to your Instagram, Facebook and stuff where people can actually follow you up now.
Yeah, as you have said before, my name is Dr. Abiola Olusegun. I'm a naturopathic consultant, herbal medicine practitioner in MB Holistic Care. And I've said it before, I treat patients with herbs and food, you know, guiding them nutritionally also, not only giving them herbs to take for their treatment. And you can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook at MB Holistic Care, and on Twitter also at MB Holistic Care. MB is EMBEE.
Okay.
That is MB at MB Holistic Care. And you can also contact me on 08104607130. And my clinic, if you want to visit, is at number 51 Abiodun Oshudia Street, Merion Agbado Jaya, Lagos.
Okay, if you want her to retake the number, like retaking the number, maybe she can just do that, just to, for people that didn't get the numbers.
Okay.
Can you just take it?
08104607130.
Okay, ma. So can we just take a picture before we leave, ma? Just briefly. So,
Don't blame me about that.
alright, guys.
Okay, now we are ready, please.
Okay. Just you guys, when you are ready, let me know this.
Shameless
Where is
ask
the
too
main
much.
camp, please?
Sorry?
Where is the main camp?
This.
Shameless too much.
But
The only camp
as for now, this. But once you are doing the introduction, you look at me.
I'm not starting the introduction.
Shameless too much. Okay.
How about this one?
So intro, each person is looking at this person.
Yes, I do. That's it.
So for discussion,
Yeah.
we're looking at this person.
Thank you. When you are ready, let me know this.
That would be nice.
I'm ready. They are still.
What a wonderful section that just ended with Anchor Agu Courage. And to move on to the second section, basically, research made us to understand that the increase in sexual urge in combination with strong emotions and thought may possibly be characterized as the highest occurrence during the adolescent development. This brings us to the second section, which is relationship sustainability. Sex a major factor to be considered. And I won't be the anchoring this alone. I have here my wonderful, as usual, co-presenter in the person of.
Thank you, Shegun. My name is Olamide Olale. Like Shegun has actually said, the topic we're deliberating on is relationship sustainability. Sex, a major factor to be considered. But here in the house, we have two speakers that will be digesting this topic with us. Here with me, I have Mrs. Esther Shola-Arin, a certified relationship counselor and also a founder of Diary of Single Lady. Welcome to the show, ma'am. And thanks for the invitation. I want to say thank you very much, ma'am.
And also here I have with me on my right hand side a wonderful lady, a pretty lady at that, with the person of Ms. Gift Innocent, a prolific writer, speaker, and a published author. The team lead of Ladies of Value and Excellence, which is an online platform for a purposeful lead. You are welcome to our field.
Okay, now we want us to know that for this segment, we're looking at it in the area of youth and also in the area of a married woman. So here I have with me Mrs. Esther Shola-Arin. She'll be anchoring the married aspect, and while Innocent Gift will be taking the aspect of youth. How youth are able to strive this, how are they able to balance the equation in being a youth, and for her that she's married, how she was able to survive this aspect. So now looking at it, there's this thing I want to talk about. It says, does sex necessarily secure relationship, ma'am?
Yes, give me. Of course it doesn't. My relationship, I'm sure you mean courtship, right? Like everything premarital.
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't. And it's so funny how people think it does. So you find scenarios where people deliberately stay in an abusive relationship simply because the sex is good, even though they know there is no future, right? So you realize at the end of the day that beyond sex there is more to life. Even in marriage, you're not having sex every day. You go to work, you have God, you have children if you do, you know, you have hobbies, you have family, you have, the spectrum is wide. God help you, God has given you a vision. You just have so many things in your life. So basically sex is just one aspect of the whole picture. Is it beautiful? Yes. Is it God-given? Yes. But is that a major thing to focus on? No. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I really love that. But why is it that mostly we know that there's no future in this relationship, but yet they still want to die here? They're thinking that, is it that they're thinking that if I give him the sex, is it going to work out?
Yes.
Stay with me for the rest of my life.
Yes. Some people really do think that way. I remember I had a session with somebody, and from all indications, that guy is a no-go area, like seriously. And she was like, well, I just want him to stay. She wants him to stay because she's not comfortable being alone, right? She wants him to stay because she has not found her worth in herself. She wants him to stay because she feels like without him, the society will look at her in a certain way. So any length, as long as he's going to stay, she's willing to do whatever. And the disadvantage of that is he ends up taking advantage of you. Because now he knows that I have something that will make her stay. The funny thing is, the marriage she is looking for, she wouldn't get it. She wouldn't get it because you don't give me pot, you give me spoon, you cook the rice, joy. What am I paying?
Exactly.
You know, for something I can get for free. Why? Do you know how much wedding costs? Do you know what it means to be a family man?
So the value will not even be there.
If I can enjoy it for free, don't worry. Just I just need to keep assuring you that I'm going to marry you, right? And you keep satisfying me, and we are good. So on the long run, it's not even profitable.
Okay, thank you for that, man. This brings me to the next question, which I'll be trying to Miss Gift. Like what she has said, it was wonderful. So, but I would like to know your own view. Like, what are the other ways you can, like, we youths can consider to sustain? Okay, let me put, for instance, you have a guy. What are the other ways a lady can sustain the relationship other than sex?
Yeah, just like she said, Mrs. Sholari has rightly said, she said sex is not a stamina, but whether a relationship is sustained or not. And that is true. Now, there are categories of people that they tell us that, oh, after all I've done for this person, yes, it's still left. Like I gave him my body, gave him my money, gave him my time and everything, it's still left. And there are other categories that, oh, the guy is godly, is friendly, is all you want, and yet he asks for sex. You refuse to give him and he's still left. So that is to tell you that the foundation for a sustainable relationship is not sex. Now, in building a sustainable relationship, the first thing I like to buttress my points with the scriptures because I love going in line with God's word. In the book of Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 4, the Bible says, every house is built by some men, but he that builds all things is God. That is to tell us that whatever you want to build, be it relationship, your marriage, your career, whatever at all, you need to involve God. Also, the book of Psalm says, except the Lord builds, they labor in vain. So as a lady, yes, that is there. I want to sustain it. I want to give it all it takes. And that is where the guys start taking advantage of it. Because he knows that you are desperate for it. Okay. So
thank you about that. This is what I want to say from what Charlie said. What about those that they've taken the God aspect? They feel like God is leading us. And yet, now we are humans now, our flesh, but yet we are still asking for the sex.
Yeah. So where now as a lady, one thing you should understand is finding yourself first for finding love. Now, people immediately they get into relationship, even though God is involved, they get lost in the crowd. Like, the love is now the one driving them. They say they fall in love instead of them to grow in love. Do you understand? So, you just keep wherever the tide of love pushes you to, you flow. And it shouldn't be. So, as a lady, you should find yourself first. Know who you are. Be contented in yourself. Now, we all growing up, we have this void in our hearts that no. And if you start seeing that void as, oh, someone else can fill the void for me, that is where you get it wrong.
So which means that even if you're in a relationship, you have to be perfect on your, like you have to be complete on your own.
Yeah.
So which means that you going into the relationship doesn't mean that it will complete you. Wow, okay, I love that. Okay, I really want to to ask now, because when it comes to this sex issue, research makes us understand that we have more than 7,000 ladies, young ladies and teenagers that they suffer from STD, HIV because of this improper sex. We're able to know that. What do you think are the other things that make these ladies to still stay in this abusive relationship? Like what she has said, loneliness. Loneliness can actually be that I don't want to be alone, peer pressure. What are the other things you feel that can make them to actually stay in an abusive relationship? But like, even though it's like what she has said, even though he's not giving me everything, let me just say, stay here because of the sex of life.
Aside loneliness, the need to also feel among is part of it. You know, when they are conversing, you hear this one say, oh, I've had sex and it's this, it's that, it's that. So you also be like, oh, I think I should taste it. So even though maybe in your past relationship you didn't give in, so based on what you had people talk about, you be like, oh, let me also try it out. So I believe peer pressure and the feeling to also feel among, you know, you want to follow the tide.
Sorry, to also add to that, I think that for some people that's all they know, really. So if you grow up in a situation where you've been molested or somehow you grow up with that idea that sex is something you just cannot do without. You know, so when you now find yourself in a relationship, as long as they are giving you what you want, even though you know it's sweet poison, they are still there. Yes, so I think sometimes the background of people also plays a major role in how people respond to their relationships.
So this brings us to our next question, which is like, how can both gender avoid sex? Like youth, like how can they avoid sex? And how also can they sustain
Okay.
Like because we have this corrupt system in society, everybody is corrupt, and sex is major like cause that causes relationship breaks and all. So how can both gender, how can they avoid it? To the point of okay, hunter, let's put that way.
Who is Ashim?
Yeah.
Because that's the ring.
So let's personal experience.
This table you are shaking. Okay, so it's a very this is a very serious table. I don't know I'm laughing. Okay, so let's get right into it. Reality is that God gave us sexual bodies, like it is a gift from God, right? And I remember for myself, many times when I got married, I'm always asking, wait, God, why didn't you just pause the sexual urge? Let me get married, then you play it back. Like, why do I have to deal with it all through my singlehood? Because it's a whole lot. And it's funny when you think it's just the guys. It's for both genders, or even Christian sisters are not smiling. You know, they lift up only hands in church, but check them out in their relationship and you would hear things like, why are you doing like this now? And you just see space, come closer now. So how do we manage it?
Yeah.
From my own experience, you can't do it without God. Like, you legit cannot do it without God. And I mean a very sincere walk with God, whereby at every point you are saying, God help me.
When the urges come.
Yes, God help me. I don't know, maybe there will be some other ways.
I think there should be a grace that is upon those people that
you know the funny thing, there is grace.
grace.
But because, okay, so I remember for me, in my relationship, of course, before we got married, the first year was perfect because we had the mind of no intimacy, no this, no that, you know, and we're right on track, like Christian relationship. I just, at a point, I remember after the first year, I started having this idea that there is nothing wrong with kissing. Yes, I just somehow I started picking it up. You know, I'm like, but really, God help you, you watch movies, you sit there. You even watch Christian movies. And And that's like the easiest form of intimacy. So your mind, you're like, what's up? I can do this. You know, it's not bad. At least you're not having sex. You know, and I started buying into it. Before I knew what was going on, I was the one that, you know, initiated, like, oh, what's up? Oh, no. You know, and I noticed that that was the beginning of my struggles, honestly. So yes, we did have sex. The Lord helped, of course. I was very sincere with God at every point. See, I know I've started this journey. How I'm going to it is what I don't know. So I really need you to help me. So yes, we had the God factor coming to say no sex, right? But you see that in between line of you've kissed and you don't want to have sex. It's better not to start. Yes, and that is honestly what I'll keep saying.
Well, it's better not to have a relationship. Or is it, can we put that way? Because
see, you will still have a relationship. Let me share an experience with you. I remember at a certain point, I think we're already planning our wedding or so, and I'm like, Lord, I am going to break the relationship. I can't deal, I can't cope, I don't even know how I'm going to survive this. And the Lord told me specifically, He said, Esther, you are not learning self-control for now. You are learning it for later, because you need this self-control all through your life. You get married, your husband will travel. Is this stick you want to use? Do you understand? You get pregnant all through that season. God help you, are not feeling too well. Like, there are just so many stages all through life where you need self-control. You see, you will go to an event and you see someone finer than him. What would you do? You know, so at that point it dawned on me that it's not about the person. It's about me setting my heart in order, putting my focus on God and knowing that, Lord, on this journey, it is me and you. Did I mess up? Yeah. Were there times where I wasn't speaking, like the urges was speaking through me, and he would just say, no, I'm not coming. I'm like, come, you say no, I'm not coming. You know, but one other thing that I know that helped was that we're very sincere with ourselves and we're willing to help ourselves. So there were instances where I am ovulating. He knows I am ovulating. He's not visiting me. Please don't see me that week. I beg you in the name of God, for your own safety. And there were some other times when you hear his voice while the phone, you're like, brother.
It's not the normal voice.
You're not spiritual right now. You know, so basically we were helping ourselves. Yes, we were and we're very sincere with ourselves. Times where I know I can't handle it, go home, stay where you are. Right? If we need to see, somebody has to be in the house. It might look like, okay, the rules are too much. They are not. If my mother cannot be sitting and be having sex now. Do you understand? Like, it's not possible. She can't be in the room. No matter how she want to take Chris, which permits my language, right? You will still have a level of restraint when you know the door is not locked. She can just come out and say, hey. So somehow it puts you in check. But when it's just the two of you in the house, and then for 6 nights, you don't do vigil.
And rainfall.
Alright. My God, you're on your own. So as much as you can, be sincere with yourself. And as you're sincere, bring God into that picture and He's going to help you.
So which means we can actually have a relationship, but yet know what we are doing in it. So innocent, like I'm doing for years now, like mama. So so mama, we want to hear from your angle of being a youth. You're in school, 400 level, let us know how has it been in school.
Yeah, basically, relationship. You have been in a relationship before, and just like what she said, present, yes.
Wow, I'm interested.
Just like what she said, it's better not to start at all, and that is the baseline. The moment you start, you won't be able to restrict it anymore. Like, there won't be restriction because you start gravitating from there, and that's it. So basically, inviting God in and setting boundaries, where to meet, what to talk about. These things we see when we discuss them with people of the world. You'll be like, what's that? What's there? Like, is it this relationship you are taking so much like that? But your work with God is very, very important. And like I tell people, there are marriages and there are marriages. If you want to build a kind of marriage, then the marriage you see around that in the next 4 or 5 years they will have issues, then you can do it in worldly way. But if you truly want a godly relationship, the one that God will be proud of, then you should be ready to give in the sacrifice that you require.
I want to bring out something for what you said. Like I just want to paint a scenario. Like what of in cases whereby like we do hear people say it's better you marry someone who is virgin, and likewise like you also. So like what you said,
Like,
when you set boundaries, it will be able to work for both parties. But in cases whereby the other you have stated before, and you, so if the pressure will be more on you, how do you sustain? How do you tend to manage that situation?
Yeah, okay. Before you start up a relationship, I believe there's an agreement on ground. Yes, which is why it is very important for you to ask your partner. Some people, they don't ask them. Ask them, okay, have you had sex before? So you'll be able to understand his own point of view. Then also know, okay, what are your views about sex? Then how are we going to do our own relationship? Are we doing God's way or the worldly way? So you have an agreement on ground, and from there you'll be able to you'll be on the same page. So yes, I've not tasted it before. You've tasted it. How do we work it together? Yes, make it work out fine.
See, to add to that, you don't owe anybody. Yes. Many times the person who is a virgin or who is more resolute about keeping that stand begins to feel like, oh, let me do it for him. Sex is not something you do for someone, right? Sex is a gift to yourself. Yes, it's a gift, like God gave you that gift, gave you. The only person you owe an explanation is God. Yes, because that is the only person that would ask you questions at the end of the day. So he says, oh, I used to have sex before, I have urges. Well, I'm sorry. Yes, if you want to do this, then we have to do it the right way. If you are not ready to do it the right way, it's fine. Use the door. Because at the end of the day, for how long am I going to satisfy your urges? Do you understand? So, and that is why for me, the motive of not wanting to have sex is very important. Like, you need to define it clearly. Why don't I want to have sex? Many people have different reasons. For some it is, I hate it. Some it is, I have a covenant with God. Some it is, they said I should not. Some it is, it doesn't just feel, so why? Do you understand? And again, the other question is, when you say sex, what does it cover? What range does it cover? And you don't understand what I said, I'm going to take it. What range? For some people, it is just, okay, would you enter or not enter? For some people, it is, we'll start. No. For some people, it is, would you able to the clothes on? Oh Lord! So the question is, what is the range? So if in my mind the range is just give me a hug, give me a peck, we are good. For him the range is I will press everything, but your clothes will still be on. There will be conflict. And that is why you see conflict in many Christian relationships. So the conflict now is not sex in the sense of the penetrative act, but sex in the sense of the range. Yeah, so that is why it's very important.
So what if you actually believe that you heard it like this is the one, you heard it that this is the one, and yet things like this are happening. And maybe by pressure the guy says that, okay, oh, you heard it, okay, fine, I'm the one, but I can't still do this. Let me still go out and satisfy myself a little bit.
You have the one.
So, because you actually know some people, they have confirmation from different people. They will tell you that I'm definitely.
I think she has a lot of.
See, the one.
I love that.
Is it the one?
The way she gave me, the one.
He's not the one till he gets the other. Yes.
So,
what that means is that, yes, you had the revelation, the Lord told you, you saw it in a dream, you heard his name. As long as that relationship does not glorify God, or it used to glorify God and it has stopped glorifying God, he's not the one. Yes. There are many cases of that in the Bible. We see instances, of course not sex, not marriage, but we see instances whereby God says, oh Saul, you are the king. Appoint him king. He's the best for the job. Then he begins to mess up, and the Lord, the same Lord, comes back to say, bro, this kingship is not for you. Eba may change it. That's how God works. So it's not now marriage that he will now put you inside bondage and say, no, I wrote your name at the beginning. You can't box him. So the point is that at the beginning, yes, I got confirmation from God. He looks like a Christian brother. All through that courtship, is he still a Christian brother? Is she still a Christian? Does he represent the kind of person you want to marry? The kind of person you want to do like this? The moment at some point you begin to see some, you know, then you can revisit it and say, Lord, I thought you said, but what I am seeing does not correlate. If he still looks like he's insisting on that way, he's not the one. It is not what God has said, it is what God is saying. Present continuous tense. Present continuous. Till the day get to the altar. Yes, then you can say, oh, he's the one that married him.
Keith, do you have anything to say concerning that?
Yeah, now basically talking about the one or not the one. This issue is really conflicting. A lot of people they say, oh, I have confirmation from a pastor, a prophet, and please believe that there's a particular person that God has attached to you, that until you locate that person, you can't get married. Every other person is wrong. It's actually a wrong notion, I think. It is a wrong notion. So if the person you said is possible for you is now asking for sex, then you should go back to God in prayers. If at first he told you that he is the one, then make sure you reconfirm. Just like someone said, he said, God can change, God cannot change his plan for you, but he can change the person. Can change the person. Yes, possibly we are working on a journey, and God has a particular plan for us. That okay, this is where you are heading to, and one person misbehaves, we can decide to change that person.
That's like, again, before we go, I want us to like differentiate between intimacy and love, because most of people are always saying that love and intimacy, it is the same thing. Intimacy.
Please, I'm not sure I understand it. What is intimacy?
Because intimacy. Okay, like intimacy, you know, when talking about love, they'll tell you that in the aspect of making love, which is the same aspect. So intimacy now means, I'm already answering my question already.
Yes, please.
So intimacy now will not be the aspect of the caressing, the touching, the kissing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it can be an aspect of love. See, reality is that whether you're in a Christian courtship or not, you have to be sexually attracted to the person you're with. Right? In fact, you cannot please be sexually attracted to the person you want to marry. Who are very important.
Necessary.
Don't be preaching the gospel. It is very necessary. So, yes, you should be sexually attracted to the person even before you get married. But God did not give us that package for courtship. He gave us that package for marriage. Right? Love in itself is what 1 Corinthians 13 says. Right? Kind, true, all of those, characteristics. So it's, at the end of the day, you see that it's a nature. It's a nature. I love you, I care for you. I love you, I'm true to you. I love you, I'm taking for granted. I love you, I won't abuse you. That is love. Intimacy. Anybody if you do intimacy now, it's not to touch you. Right? Is that it?
Yes, sure.
So really, anybody can do that. And again, you realize that when you actually get married, especially when you've been able to honor God and you've been able to walk in love, intimacy comes very natural. Right? It's not forced because it's not an expression of care. It becomes a physical expression of care. So even when you're having sex with the person, your desire is to also please the person as much as it is to please yourself. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I think that there are two different things, and the true essence of intimacy, the definition of intimacy in courtship is me knowing intimately, knowing you knowing your mindset, knowing your history, knowing your future.
What time?
That is intimacy. It's not knowing your body. She gets it. Yeah.
Please, before we round up the section, please, I would like to ask you a question for the viewers who are watching. Like, what are the godly benefits abstaining till the end?
Let's see. Godly benefits of abstaining. First and foremost, you can walk out on anybody that's trying to mislead you. You can walk out on anybody that is trying to mislead you. Next thing that, there is something about sex that makes you feel very bonded with someone, that makes you feel like, like you've seen me too privately. Like everywhere I go to, I wear clothes. Now you've seen me without that. So you don't need too much to come and say I want to leave. But when there is no sex involved, and the wire in the person's head does not connect, you can easily take a walk without feeling like a part of you is with the person. So nobody is going to come outside and say, I know you now, I know you. Nobody can say that. So that liberty it's a major one, really. Then the second one is you knowing that you are pleasing God. Knowing that your relationship is honoring to God. And God honors those that honor him. Facts. And it serves as a memorial before God. Being able to say, Lord, I kept your word. So you can use it as an exchange rate in the kingdom. Let's leave that. Then I think the third thing is, I've heard many people say they feel very guilty when they have sex in a relationship. So when they now marry, thank God I don't feel guilty again. When you don't have sex, you don't have that guilt feeling. You don't feel like, you're messing up. Let's just quickly marry. Then again, another very important thing is you are able to major on the major. Major on the major, like know the person. You're able to plan together. You have more time. See, sex takes time. Especially in courtship. You will just realize that when you see yourself 5 p.m., 9 p.m., people are still touching yourselves. You will not talk, you will not plan, you will not pray. You cannot, because you are busy. You understand? But the moment that is out of the picture, so it now becomes, okay, we are here, what are we going to do with our lives for the next 5 hours? Then you begin to talk. Then you begin to plan. Then you begin to see how different you are. So it is no more, we laugh alike. Now it is, the way he thinks is different from the way I think. Then you begin to solve those major issues such that when you marry, you do not have issues. At least technically, do you understand? So I think for me, that's like a major one. Yeah.
Okay. Then I also believe trust. It also helps you to build trust in your partner. Because if you believe when you were courting, you were all having this and that. And even when it comes into marriage, it will become difficult to trust your partner because you're like, are you sure this guy is not having this elsewhere when I'm not in? When you're not giving in. Yes. Then it also procures blessings because I believe I've seen couples whereby as soon as they go married, they honor God in their marriage, and as soon as they go married, then the blessing that the woman is carrying begins to reflect on the man. But when you have it outside marriage, it is wasted. Why? Because God is involved. God is not satisfied. But when you satisfy God and He is pleased with your marriage, you're definitely going to enjoy the blessings of God.
That's a nice one. And I hope we've all learned one thing or the other. Okay, just in a minute, I want to just give your advice for the teens and the youth out there. Advice you can actually give to them.
Know God. Know God for yourself. Love God. Love God crazily. Yes. Find yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Many people are not in themselves. Fall in love with yourself such that only you can stay in a room and you don't feel like you are missing out on the world. Do you understand? Fall in love with yourself. Find yourself. Find the beauty within yourself. And when the person comes, take your time. I say take your time to fall in love. Forever is too long to be unhappy. Yes, take your time and just ensure that whatever relationship relationship you are in, it's a relationship you'll be waiting for in the next 10 years, right? Whoever it is you are planning to marry is someone your children will bless you for. Yes, when they come. Say thank you. Do you know, I look at my husband and I'm saying, I tried for my children. Like, I look at him and I'm like, I see you. My children will be so proud of me. I married a man. See, that is the concept. Do you understand? It's not that you marry someone that your children will be talking, say, it's not me, it's conjunct. See, don't let us do like that. So whoever you marry, let it be someone that your children will look at you and say, Daddy, every mommy fair. Mommy is that. Mommy! Oh God, that's it.
My own contribution is, as much as you find God, make sure you find your purpose. Find something to live for. Like one reason why we get bored easily is because we are not doing anything. And that's why even when you are in a relationship, you tend to choke the person with attention and the person walks away. So if you find yourself, you find your purpose, okay, this is my passion, you are following your purpose for like the person that is meant for you definitely comes.
So which means we will stretch yourself to just come. Thank you very much. As we want to say thank you for joining us on this show. Thank you very much. We are really, really, really grateful. Thank you.
Before we go, let's give you a picture.
Okay, man.
Okay, the ones you took before, is that how you end it? You need it.
Okay, I want to say a big thank you to our speakers who have spoken in this section. Those are just doing, the topic is relationship sustainability, sex a major factor to consider. I want to say thank you to our speakers. And this ends the section, and next on this program, we'll be going to the next section, which is myths of a relationship. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.